Get into this quick. Let me see what I have here. Saludos, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. We're going to dive right into it right now. Okay, guys? Let me get this shirt together. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Watch Market Update Show. Don't forget to please give us a thumbs up. And if you would like, you can also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to give you a little... I'm going to give you some precious metal material prices. And palladium is $1,515. Saludos. Siga. Saludo to all of you. Saludos, Mr. Blair. Palladium is $1,515. Platinum is $1,581. Silver is at $48. And gold is I left it at $4,120. I left it. I don't know if it dropped more or what it was, but those are the prices for your precious metals. Okay, those are your prices. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to say, I don't know if you guys know, but I truly believe that the U.S. Okay, 4105. So it's dropped more. Okay, dropped more. 4105. That is the price. Somebody just told me that's the price of the troy ounce of gold is $4,105. I already told all of you already that that's the way it's going to behave until it gets to where it has to get. Okay. Also, the Japanese yen is exchange rate fell to 151.7090. 151.7090 as of October the 22nd, 2025. I believe the US dollar is also, not doing that well as well, I wanna say something else to you guys. I did a video sometime last year. Well, I did a couple of them in 2023. I did a couple of them and so on. And I'm going to be talking about the purchase that Rolex did with Carl F. Bucarel. They purchased Carl F. Bucarel. They purchased all the stores. They purchased the factory. And most of all, they purchased all those master movement craftsmen. These guys were spectacular, doing minute repeaters, annual calendars and all that good stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, I told all of you a year ago, and if some of you remember, and if you don't, there's no problem. Saludos, Doc Make out of Florida. Saludos. And I told you that the reason they were doing that is because I believe that Rolex wanted to get all their stores, all that good stuff. And also to get all these craftsmen, movement, unbelievable masters. And I said to all of you that this is because they want to get back into the game of, perpetual calendars and minute repeaters and triple dates and all that good stuff. Complication world, they wanted to get there. And I told all of you about that. And as you know, now they're talking about it, that they are going to be releasing, or they have a patent to let go of one of those watches. I think it's an annual perpetual calendar. Like, let's say an example. I don't know if you know that movie star that he worked in the movie Valley Girl. I think he's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola, and he has a triple calendar, watch. It's unbelievable. It's a complication Rolex watch, and it's very, very, it's a very expensive watch as it is. And I said to you guys that if Rolex goes into that field, you're talking about a minute repeater, $300,000. Annual calendar. You're talking about big money. You're talking about a lot of money. And if you guys didn't see that video that I did on that, talking about the purchase that it wasn't even the purchase, it was the subject that Rolex just closed down Carl F. Bucarel, one of their first customers. They didn't say bye-bye to them. Saludos, Alex. They didn't say bye-bye to them. They didn't say, it was good to have you, but we're closing you down. Nothing, they just shut them down and pa fuera, they were gone, So, and that's the reason I did it, because now they're going to be using all these master movement, craftsmen, their work. These people have been there for generations, the son, the grandson, these people have some masters, these people are masters, And so if you haven't seen that video, I think you should take a look. See at that video. It's gonna, tell you a lot, of what's happening at this moment. I honestly believe, and I said it back then a year ago, and what I said a year ago, it's coming to light, And now you're gonna have people now say this, but I said it last year. One of those, minute repeaters, $300,000. A Rolex, $300,000. And if you buy one for Carl F. Bucarel, one of those will cost you $7,000, $7,000. And yeah, But if it's Rolex, the king, papi, $300,000, $150,000. Because like I told you, they want to be in that game. They want to be in the AP game. They want to be in the Patek Philippe game. They want to be in the Vacheron Constantin game. They want to be there. And they're probably going to do it, guys. They're going to do it, and they're going to make a lot of, I'm telling you, that was, for me personally, it was to get all these master, movement makers. They needed to get these people. These people have the pattern. These people have the blueprints, and they know how to do, annual perpetual calendar, a triple calendar date. I don't know. A minute repeater. I'm telling you, those watches are gonna go, papi. They're gonna go to the moon. And I believe that this kid has one. This gentleman, the guy that's what's his name? Nicolas Cage. He has one of those triple calendar, one of those, and those things are from the 50s, and they cost a ton of money, So, if you haven't seen that video that I made, it's a year old. You're gonna listen to it again, and you're gonna go, coño, this guy was saying it, and he hit it. I don't want to take props to it, but I said it to you guys. This is what's gonna happen. They're gonna close this, the Carl F. Bucarel company down, and they're going to take all those watchmakers and bring him into the king of watches. And like I said again, Carl F. Bucarel, $5,000 a watch. Rolex, $100,000. $5,000, $100,000. It's like it is. And they're entering that game. And I'm going to tell all of you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe that it's going to be simple to get those watches, I got news for you. It's not going to be simple. This is going to be hand-selected, hand-picked, cherry-picked. Just to let you guys know, right? Just to let you guys know. I'm going to go into another subject. The other subject that I want to go into, I spoke to you about, you had the olive oil voice, talking about confused that the watch market is up, that is down. You had that guy. You got the guy from Japan. Also, he's an analytics, and he's looking for numbers, like the Goodwill Hunting, Goodwill Hunting, I think it was called, they're looking for numbers back and forth. And the Japanese gentleman said that the watch market is dead, right? And then I also told you about the guy with the skin head, with the shaved head and the glasses. I call him the English military trooper, the English military trooper. He also said, esto está jodido. This is not right. But I have somebody else, ladies and gentlemen. I have somebody else that, all these people are in the payroll, are in the payroll. What you do is you make your show and you make your analytics and you just say that the watch market is up and running. You get greased up, we're happy. We keep on pushing these watches to these Michiganers. They don't know what's going on. But the olive oil voice, hey man, this is not looking good. The Japanese guy, hey man, this is not looking good. The English military trooper, hey man, this is not looking good. But you got a guy, which I call the fake Italian, flat top monkey eyebrows. The fake Italian, flat top monkey eyebrows. Over there, from the Italian people, you take a boat to get to their place, Ladies and gentlemen, he made a video. You leave right now. Go see him. It doesn't bother me because I don't care. Yo no saco nada con esto, But you go see the fake Italian flat top monkey eyebrows. He's already saying, is Rolex watches dead? Is dead like that? Going down an arrow like that? Or you buy watches or the watch market is dead? So he's another one too that's being greased up. But suddenly, the greasing is not coming around no more because you got to pay those people. Those people are going to charge you a couple of dollars for you to say that the watch market is up and running and everything is beautiful when we all know that the watch market is suffering. We know that the watch market is suffering. The watch market is not doing well whatsoever. Only you guys still keep on believing because they keep on pounding you in the head and telling you that the watch market is running and everything is beautiful. But, the watch market is dead, It's right. That's right. The wheel has run out of oil, has run out of oil. You can lie for so long and the truth is going to come out. You can lie for so long. You can make Kino and Juan look bad because you're greasing up everybody, but everybody is folding. Everybody is folding, Everybody's folding. So I wanted you to know that there's another one. That's number 4. Number 4, maybe Elvira. Elvira over there too from that side of the pond over there. Maybe she'll start saying, that Elvira, the lady, she was pale, like Dracula's wife, Exactly. I keep on saying that the car business is dead too, but nobody wants to, believe me or give me the credit. Or not me, give Sweet Kid Kino the credit he deserves because he's been telling everybody, hey, esto está jodido. Good for you, Alex. Congratulations on selling your Sprite. So I want you to understand that I told you four different gentlemen, and these are the 4 that we've been able to see, that we've been able to track down, that they say, look, man, no more money, no honey, No more money, no honey, So the people are running to the hills already, hey, man, I'm not getting greased up. I'm not going to say that the watch market is up and running. They're not greasing me up. And it is. The watch market is upside down. The watch market is upside down. So, when you have a chance, take a look-see at flat top monkey eyebrows, the fake Italian, so you can see the way they are. You also have another gentleman which I call, in a very sweet way, I think he is a relative of the subway train jumper, I call him vacuum. And they're doing these auctions, in eBay and, selling little plastic things to put your watches in there. These people are all getting creative, They are all getting creative. Vacuum, young kid, has good spirit. You can tell he's working on his stripes, and you can tell that when he was young, come on, throw yourself from the table. I'm gonna catch you, And he was let go and crashed through the floor and got a loose tooth, but he learned his lesson, he's very well taught. You know, I give him credit for that. You know, listen to me, when these people teach something that I like, I give them credit. You know, where credit is due, credit is due, you know? So, you know, that vacuum young man, he's selling, you know, those little protectors so you can put your watch in there, and you know, you send it over there to China, make me 500 of them, you know, at $4, at $3 a piece, and you know, whatever price he sells to you, lambones, it's a jungle college, papi. It's the college that you come out of there, you know. Like an example, I'm gonna tell you, yo soy un vendedor natural. I am a natural salesman. I'm a natural salesman, but my abilities to sell is a different from the ones they have. These kids, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Let me explain to you. A little twist of BS. And that's how it is, you know? So it's not the same, but it's a twist. You know, I don't have that twist in my arsenal, you know? I don't have that twist. But they do have that twist in their arsenal, you know? And that's how it is, you know? So I'm telling you all these things so you guys know what's happening. I also believe that the dollar, to be honest, is, you know, it's not looking nice. You know, I don't think the US dollar is looking nice. And so I also want to say something else. You know, we have many things that I want to talk to you about. I spoke to you about the other day about gold, the way the saludos Aquiles, the way from India, the way they operate, how they convert all the electronics and SIM cards, and they take out gold and make money, you know. And I also was telling you how the Americans over here always take advantage of the situation when things are looking beautiful, you know, la gloria, the glory days, they start making money. And I want you to understand where we're at and how people make money. This is why I tell you that the people from 47th Street, they know how to look for a dime. You know, they know how to look for a dime. And it's something that, you know, not all of us have that talent. You know, we don't have that talent, all of us. But ladies and gentlemen, I was looking at a gentleman. It is unbelievable. He's talking about, this is crazy, Sodi. Listen to this. This is crazy. So you see this gentleman that's talking, and he's talking. They know how to use the proper words. You know, they say, if you got $100, don't spend it all on a watch. Spend $20 on a watch. Spend $20 on a real estate property. An example, you know what I'm saying? So you understand what I'm saying? You know, you spread it around. You know, buy yourself a watch, buy yourself a property, buy yourself a car. You know, don't put all that money in there because, you know, this is the way they start this conversation. And then they say to you, the person tells you, you know, we're entering the holidays, la fiesta. You know, we're entering the holidays, and the holidays is beautiful. And, you know, to give a reward to one of your people, you know, give a bonus at the end of the year, right? This person is talking. This is the person from 47th Street, you know, the Diamond District, you know who I'm talking about? You know, he's like Eddie Monster. You know Eddie Monster? You know, Uncle Johnny. You know Uncle Johnny? Well, you see Uncle Johnny, he's unbelievable. He's putting on his bravest face, and he's sitting there, and he's talking about that he has the most best thing to give as gifts to all of you out there. Uncle. You know, Uncle Johnny. You know, Uncle Johnny. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. Uncle Johnny has made paper money. Listen to me and learn. Paper money. He's made paper money. He's unbelievable. You know, he's unbelievable. You know, you can see in the back the curtains of his, you know, looks like a funeral home in the back. And he's telling you now for the holidays, instead of giving your employees a $50 car from Fridays or, you know, Outback, you know, you give him one of these bills. You give him one of these bills that has attached to the bill a little big nice chip of gold. Gold, pure gold, 24 karat gold. And he's telling everybody out there, my phone number is there. I got people answering the phone to take your orders, to see how many dollar bills you need with the gold. This is no lie, ladies and gentlemen. Papi, this is no lie. This is para que tú puedas entender que son macabélicos, son macabélicos. These people son monstruos. They're monsters. These people son monstruos. Un billete is a dollar. It's not a real, it's like a monopoly dollar. A monopoly dollar. And that monopoly dollar has a little window, and that window has a little chip like that of 24 karat gold. 24 karat gold. These people are unbelievable. So una gonorrhea, but they know how to make a dollar. And they know they have October, November, and December, and part of January, the first couple of days, to milk all of you. He's not selling watches now. He's selling a monopoly dollar bill with a little window with a little gold little bar there, a gold bar. This is crazy. This is crazy what's going on. So I want you guys to understand how these people operate. I'm going to tell all of you, man, if you guys are going to that, convenience store and you're buying some of that Cretum, lay off that, man. That thing doesn't let you think or let you see, It doesn't let you think, and lay off that CHT and lay off that Fen. Lay off all that stuff, because estamos jodidos. People out there skip hopping around like rabbits through life, and they're buying everything that they're showing them. These people have the trance on all of you, I'm telling you, they have the trance on all of you. And you guys, somebody needs to awaken you people up. So, it has to be me. All right? It has to be me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go to another subject now. Then I need to go to another subject. I want you to know this, the kind of attack that they have on us right now on people that are involved in precious metals, in particular, silver and gold, okay? We're going to leave gold out of the equation right now. We're going to just focus on silver. We're going to focus on silver. I want all of you to know something and hear this. You're going to hear it from me, because nobody is going to tell you this. Maybe if you have a broker like Dr. Evil, maybe he knows about this. Dr. Evil, if you know what I'm going to say, give me a peace sign. If you don't, just listen to what I'm going to say. But it's very important for all of you to listen to what I'm going to say, so you understand how this country moves. Particularly this country. I want you to know that if you take right now, scrap silver, if you take scrap silver to the refinery, they'll tell you they don't want that. They don't want it. Scrap silver, sterling silver, they don't want it. They don't want it right now, because what they want is basically, they want 999 bullion. They don't want to buy it. They don't want to buy it. If you go to a pawn shop, the pawn shop is going to buy you the silver, the spot of silver under, listen and learn, under 5%. 5%. You come in with all your silver, spot. No, spot. I'm not going to pay you spot. I'm going to pay you 5% under that. You heard it from me. You heard it from this man, from the only man that comes to drop the truth on all of you. The only man that comes to drop the truth on all of you. You know? What was silver? Some precious metal refineries are temporarily paying for silver below spot price. And that's to do the extraordinary market pressures below spot price. Some refineries have temporarily adjusted their buying rates to be below the market spot. This is when the government gets involved. And now, right? You know, we don't want 90% sterling silver. If it's not 999, we don't want it. Because they don't have time to refine the gold. They don't have time. They don't have time to refine, not the gold, excuse me, the silver. They don't have time. And why don't they have time? Well, let me tell you why. Because they're catching up on large institutional orders. You know, they don't have time because they have institutional orders that they have to prepare for them. Pero me and you, no hay. There's a deficit. Exactly, there it is. There it is. Silver is still undervalued. It's undervalued. And I'm going to tell all of you out there, do not sell your silver. Do not sell your silver. You know, do not sell. Damon, if you bought 10 ounces of silver, it's nothing big. Nothing big. No lo venda. No lo venda. Don't sell your silver. What these people are doing, esto es un plan de ataque. This is a plan of attack against us. You know? What I really would like to see, I hope everyone makes, I hope everyone makes a run on paper, on silver, on paper, right? And crashes it, and they crash it. You know, silver on paper, and they crash it. And then we'll get the real number. And you know what the real number we're looking for right now? Is $300 an ounce. $300. $300 an ounce. 300 pesos. Because they all have a plan. They all have a plan. Can you believe you're saying something that you have an order, in order that you need to, you know, a large order of, you know, silver, bullion silver, 999, that you have to prepare, you know, for an institutional, you know. But I'm saying that with the paper, you know, they crash it and go for real. I mean, silver will just jump to the moon, because something is in plan, something is in place. You know, they already know this is what they did. The little shakeup they have done with silver doesn't worry me. Gold doesn't worry me. The one that I see, they don't. Let me tell you, the way silver has jumped up, it's big. It might sound to you little, but it's big. You know, it's. When was the last time that we saw a price like that of silver? Was it 2011? 2011? You know, it's exactly, Mr. Donor, correcto. You know, so we have that going on, and they're saying that if they buy the refineries, listen to me, you don't have to believe me, you Google it. As I talk, you Google it. The refineries, when you come in, es que son tremendas gonorrea. This is why this is not a good thing. There is a shortage. I'm telling you, it's a deficit. And people were telling me the other day, some of our organic watch channel subscribers, he was telling me that we don't have a deficit. I don't know. I think his name was Jonathan or John, right? He was telling me that. I said, we have a deficit. So these people are saying that we need that 999. We need silver 999. That's the silver we need. But when you come to sell it to us at the refinery, we're going to pay you spot 10% under that. So an example, you come in with silver, let's round it off to $50, right? $50. If they take a 10% off that on a troy ounce, how much are they paying you? 10%. 10% off that. But gold doesn't have that problem. But silver, for some reason, has that problem. Silver has that problem. And then there's a lot of people already that they're getting a jumpy and edgy, and they don't know what to do now with silver. I'm going to say allegedly, man, stick to your silver. Hold on to it. Because something, I believe that something is happening. Something is happening. And this is the way they are controlling us. This is the way they're controlling this precious metal of silver. And it's not gold, it's silver. Is silver the one? And they can say, listen to this, guys, because this is not, it's okay, I understand. But again, in the refineries, they can say, we're going to pay you minus a 5% spot, 5%, 10%, and ready for this one? And a 50%. And a 50%. So you have silver, and the refinery says, well, I'll buy it from you, but I'm going to buy with a 25%. 25% discount. So something is not right, something is wrong, and nobody for the last, I've been looking at everything, everybody's quiet, and then you hear that they're preparing tremendous orders for big, large institutional orders. Who can these people be? And exactly. So I'm just telling you to try to, it's not gonna be a fixed discount. It's not a fixed 10%, but it can fluctuate based on market conditions. Buyers can typically take anywhere from a 5% to a 50%. Una locura. I told you that the sleeper was silver and something was going on. Something is going on. Silver is the one. Está muy barato. It's too economic that you can buy a shitload, but there's a deficit. There's nothing. Did anybody find anything in Costco? Any silver? They don't want no more scrap sterling silver. They don't want no scrap sterling silver. They don't want none of that stuff. You can stay with that. You can stay with that junk. We don't have time to refine it. We need bullions. We need bullions, 999. That's all we want. We don't want nothing else. And this is what's happening. And then you have that government shutdown. I think we're going on our 23rd or 24th day. You know what I'm trying to say, Zoe. They don't want it. They don't want that shit. Take it out of here. Leave. We don't want this. We don't want it. We want it hecho. We want it prepared. We don't want it. We want what Mr. Damon purchased from Costco. A 10-ounce bar. Perfect. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't want no 90% sterling silver, your necklace chain, your ankle, your bracelet, your ring. I don't want none of that stuff. We don't have time. They're saying that we don't have time to refine nothing. Nothing. Si no tienes, if you don't have 999, get out of here. They'll buy you 999. And I'm telling you, with a discount. Does anybody know what I'm saying? Has anybody heard what I'm saying or no? Has anybody heard that refineries are buying your silver with a discount? Have you heard about pawn shops buying your silver with a discount? Have you heard about that? Tell me. Oh, you have? Okay, there it is. There it is. Then you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't feel now like un lambón. Like, what am I talking to these people? They don't even know what I'm saying. And it's like that. And everybody is quiet. Everybody's quiet and they're looking around to see who it is. You know? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking around. Hey, what's going on? You know? The guy from over there, from Pennsylvania Avenue, he's been very quiet. You understand me? Over there, you know, over there in Venezuela, very quiet. Over there, you know, over there, Israel, the Hamas people, very quiet. Over there, you know, Ukraine, that guy over there, very quiet. Y todo el mundo va a pasar un susto, and everybody's going to be surprised. Because they're saying, bring me all the bars. Bring me all the silver bars. I want them all. I want them all. But they're saying that the number of silver, it went all the way up. And it went up to how much? $53? $52? That's too much money. How's that? Something big is going to happen, Papi. It's going to happen. How are you going to tell me that? You're going to tell me that you're going to buy me you're telling me what you want. You're telling me $54. You're telling me that you want 999 bullion. Perfecto. Give it to me. And I'm going to give you 10% under that. Not enough money for me. But it's not enough money for me and you, Zoe, because we probably have, you know, I don't know. We probably have, I don't know, 30 pounds, right? The people that me and you don't know, these people have, Papi, these people have un cojón de libras. Un cojón de libras. You know, I don't know how many grams they have of silver. How many ounces they have of silver. They have un cojón. So now, doesn't that sound to you like the government is taking control of the subject? Don't give these people no more than this. Don't give these people no more than tons of silver. They have tons. They have tons of silver. We pretty much have the gold subject pretty much under control. We have a couple of loose ends, but the silver is the one que hay un cojón. And we want to get it all. Son tan macabélico que they don't want it 90%. They don't want it 90%. They don't want to be refining nothing. They don't want to be cooking nothing. They don't want to cook nothing. No. Cooking, it takes too much time, and people are coming in, and we're paying 10% on the spot. And the pawn shop is paying you 5% on the spot. You know? So something is not right. And the reason I've been working and looking at it, and I said, Papi, this is not right. Let's be honest, guys. We saw gold to $4,380. Today is I don't know. Today is what, Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know what today's day. Wednesday, right? And it went down to $4,105. It dropped $300, $300 an ounce, like that. Boom, abajo. It's moving too quick, and then it's going up, and then it's going down. Is it going up right now? Somebody look somewhere else, another country, to see how gold is, because this thing is going crazy. And I'm telling you that I believe is so I don't keep on using the word el gobierno, I'm going to use the ICA. Listen, you know, because how? How is it that they're gonna tell Thurston Howard III, I got here 5,000, I got 5,000 pounds of silver. I got 2 pallets of silver, and Thurston bought it for $7.84 an ounce. And now they say, no, we can't give that to Thurston Howard III. No, we can't give him that. You know, we can't give him that. Manipulation, man. And so it's there. It is there. It's to show you what it is. What am I trying to say? I'm gonna say it. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. You know, it's all rigged. That's why I say I hope somebody crashes the silver with silver bonds. You know, crashes y le cojone todo, and that thing, ¡fum!, se dispara. That's what I'm thinking of. You know, ¿qué pasa eso entonces? It's not, you know, it's not looking healthy, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. It's looking strange. And I'm telling you, we haven't heard from that guy from Pennsylvania Avenue. He's been quiet. He's been quiet. I don't know. What do you guys think? I ask all of you, what do you guys think is going to happen? What's going to happen? You know, with silver. Do you agree with that? Do you agree? Because we spoke about that at one time, you know, okay. There it is, Thurston. You know, this is all rigged, man. I mean, when I saw that today, I couldn't believe it. I said, man, these people are saying now, and they have the power to say it. They have the power. You want to sell it? If it's $54 a troy ounce, if it's $54 a troy ounce, and they are going to give you below the spot price of silver 10%, how much is that? How much would Thurston Howard III have left for him? If they take off a 10%, I don't have I want you guys to work. You know, tell me. 45, 49. Yeah, so basically, you know, they're taking money from us. Let's not give it to them. Let's not give it to them. We're not going to give them the $54. We're not going to give them the $50. You know, lo vamos a joder. And I honestly, I feel like the silver times there you go. That's right, Dr. Evil. That's right. Times are hard, man. Times are tough, and things are not looking good. And I want all of you to really, you know, think about it. You know, if you are thinking of selling, I am not a financial, you know, whiz and all that stuff. I'm just saying, be careful. Think about it, because I'm telling you, something is going to happen, bro. And I think it's going to happen with silver. It's going to happen with silver. If you look at the percentage of what's going higher between silver and gold, silver es el macho. Silver has gone more, a bigger percentage. And now they're telling us, no, we're going to pay you this much. If you like it, it's no problem. If you don't, and we don't want 90% sterling silver. We don't want your mother's fork. No. We don't want your mother's silver plate. Get it out of here. We don't want that. Son tan lambones que they want it already prepared. They want it prepared. This is it. They say that they don't know what to do. Just walk out of the store. You just walked out of the store. You're telling me to walk out the store, Zoe. It's crazy. It's crazy. Something is happening. And everybody is not. The only thing they're saying is, we want it prepackaged. Yes. And the dollar today is going to buy you, man, the dollar today is going to buy you 2 cents, man. And these people se están preparando para algo grande. They're preparing themselves for something big, and nobody is really giving. Now you can't really see it because the last 72 hours, you were able to see what was going on in social media. They were all over the place. But for some reason, they turned them all off. Shh, everybody quiet now. We're gonna get this quiet. Thank you. The reset. Thank you, Alex. I believe the reset is coming, guys. The reset is coming. They're talking about these numbers that you say, wow, this is crazy. You know, the numbers they're talking about, they're not talking about millions. They're not talking about billions. They're talking about trillions of dollars. Trillions. You know, some of them are saying this, that we're going to do this to get the country started all over again, fresh. You know, some of them are saying this, some of them are saying that. That Trump, that, you know, that guy from Pennsylvania Avenue is working on something. Too many things are going on that don't sound right. Like if you ask me right now, well, for the last 5 days, you felt very comfortable. I did. But for the last, you know, Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, I started seeing something that wasn't right. And then you start reading about silver, you say, coño, you know, no bailouts. There's no bailouts. There's nothing. No hay nada. There's none of that. So what I'm saying is, if you don't have to sell your silver, if you don't have to, silver, because it's, you know, 50 pesos, you know, banks se van a ir. Banks are gonna, se van a ir. They're gonna, se van a desaparecer. Because it's crazy. Listen to this governor that we have from Florida. I don't know about the governors in your different cities or your countries, wherever you're from. But listen, when you hear a governor, and I'm still trying to understand how they're gonna do it, how does that work? That you're gonna be able to pay for your eggs with gold. My question is, how are we going to pay people with gold? How? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. You know, if I have a coin that's 2 ounces and I'm buying a carton of milk, you know, a dozen eggs, a couple of Wonder Breads, how am I going to pay with gold? Can somebody please show me? Dr. Evil, show me how you do that. What is it? That the grocery store is going to have a wait? He's going to wait for you your... Bro, ¿cómo es eso? Show me. And they're saying the governor from here, I think his name is, I think he wears some boots. He wears boots and he puts things under the boot to make him look taller. You know who I'm talking about? You know who I'm talking about? The guy that wears boots. He's the governor from here, you know? I forgot his name, from Florida. The PPP loans will be back, papi. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Y yo le da vuelta like that, like this, like that, and I don't see, because now they los Marianos a todo mundo, they got us all dizzy. You know, you got BlackRock saying this, Vanguard saying this, State Street saying this, you know, JP Morgan, this, that, you know, they're all, you don't know what's going on. And that's what they did. They did lo vamos a marear a todo. We're gonna get him all dizzy. DeSantis, correct. That guy, the governor, he's saying to pay with gold. We're taking now, when you want to buy your groceries, we're taking gold. Papi, have you heard of that stuff? You know, the government getting involved and, you know, pay with gold. Papi, there's nothing, de verdad que there's nothing left out there that, you know, que it means something. And it's precious metal, you know, gold, silver, palladium, rhodium, you know, platinum. They're taking it all. They said, we're going to take it all from them. They're not going to have shit. We're going to take it all from Dr. Evil. I heard Dr. Evil has there like around on gold. It's an example, Dr. Evil. I'm only playing. He has this. Let's get it ready. I don't know. I don't know. They haven't said a word about Fort Knox. I didn't want to say it, but I'm letting you guys say it. That, you look at the name Dr. Evil just put down. That guy is involved so big in this that is crazy. I want to say because I have looked in different platforms and I have even asked AI what kind of mindset that guy has. LF, LF. Okay, Larry Fink. They say, can somebody please help me out with this? They say the guy is a brain. They say the guy is a brain. They say he is in front of this. Imagine that. You have to get somebody. Thank you, allegedly. They say that he is este es el hombre. You're the chosen one. You're going to be the architect of all this. But have you guys heard that he's a very shrewd man, a very smart man? Have you guys heard that Mr. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, is a very smart man? Have you guys heard that too or no? But I'm talking about que el tipo está el papá de Tarzán. He's the father of Tarzan. What he has here, they say que el tipo es un corrupto y un dañado. They say he's a little corrupter, and but he's, you know what I'm trying to say, Alex. And they're saying that he's behind all this. They were trying to get us dizzy with BlackRock, tokenization, tokenize, then back to gold, then to silver, then back to Bitcoin, and then Larry Fink. I told you the other day, that right before the thing, cash me out 15 billones. How do you know when to cash me out? ¿Cómo? Pero who are you? ¿Cómo tú sabes esto? We have the invisible whale putting 420 million on, on this. You got the other kid, 7'3" putting 30 million on Bitcoin. And that when you speak to the China people and the tariffs, let me know. I'm going to pull out. Boom, 190 million. So estamos jodidos. So I told you this the other day, and I'm going to say it again. It's your job, it's your duty to monitor what's going on. And if you don't do that, you're going to get it deep. I took you guys, and I can say it clearly, I took you guys to a number of $4,000 an ounce of gold. I took you that route. I took you. Now, if you lose it, it's all on you. I don't know nothing. It's all on you. I told you where it was going. And I still believe it's still going to go up. But I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful. Open your eyes. Open your ears. Listen to one. That's all I got to say. I didn't say that. You look around to see who said it. That's what I'm saying. I took you there already. I took you there. From $1,400 an ounce, I've been telling you people. 14. We're at 41. I'm telling you, what is it? Has it gone up or not? I want to know if it's gone up. Has it gone up? Let me retrace a bit then. Shut back up. Yep, that's right. That's right, Alex. You need to be smart because something is going on. This is the game they want. They want you to be on top of it. How is it that you're going to tell the people, Mr. Damon bought a 10-ounce bar of 999 silver, pure silver. That's what they want, pure silver, 4,100. And Mr. Damon, if I may ask you with all due respect, How much did you pay at that moment for it? Number 28 on Forbes list of the world's most powerful people. I'm telling you, Larry, ese tipo es un diablo. Look what he has here in his head. You know, he sits down. Man, you gotta be you 5,700 or 570. Wow, 5,070. So listen to this, Damon. Were you listening to me, Damon, what I was saying? So let's say you bought $5,700 of silver from Costco. An example, let's say that. Let's say that. I bought 10 of them. Wow, bro. Now listen to this, Damon, so you can help me out. So you bought that. You bought, I don't know how much it comes up to the ounce. I don't know how much it is. But now you're going to go sell them. Tell me if this is fair or not. And you're going to go sell them your 10. You know, you have 20, 30. Wow, man, you don't go home. And you go back with all that, and they tell you, okay, Mr. Damon, we want to buy from you, but we're going to buy on the spot price, we're going to buy 10% less than that. Are you happy with that? You carry all that with yourself, you're carrying it, and they're going to, hey, they're going to shortchange you now? Do you agree with that? In other words, you're basically not making nothing. You're not making nothing. Frog, no. But I want to see somebody put it there. Pero ¿cómo? How? No, it's not buying a house. You don't sell. Right. But I'm saying that, let's say that, you know, it jumps up. And now they're telling you, we're going to take a discount of the spot gold 10%. It's not cool, man. Why aren't they doing that with gold? They're not touching gold for nothing. They want all the gold you can bring them. They want all the gold you can bring them. And they want all the silver you can bring them, but 999. None of this sterling silver BS. I don't want this junk. I don't want this scrap. I don't have time. My people don't have time to refine. My employees, this. They have said already, gold is untouchable. Very well said, Papa. They have already said they're like around 10 different refineries around. Oh, qué clase. Bravo, Damon. Bravo. Bravo. That's all they want, Papa. They have said that around the United States, 10 refineries have got closed down. No le da negocio. So you understand me, it's not even business for them. It's not even business for them. No le da. No le da. No le da. Hay un deficit. There's not enough silver. They have orders that they're preparing for somebody. You know, they're preparing for BlackRock. An example so you can understand me. We have orders that we have to prepare. But how about me? Why don't you prepare, you know? Thank you. Thank you. It's unbelievable, you know, and I'm just trying to, you know, make you understand that something is not right and that something is coming. Is it the reset? Is it the reset? You know, what is it? Is it the reset? Because Papi, what's going on is too big. I turn it around, I turn it around, and I said, I can't get it, man. I can't get it. And I was talking to my friends today, and I can't get it. Thurston Howell, thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. But I'm telling all of you, be smart. Don't give up your silver that simple. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it because something is not right. And I'm telling you, this I'll say, I can feel in the computer, I can feel in the TV, I can feel in social media that something is not right. Something is not right, Papi. You know, I can feel it. I feel it, and I say, man, esto está mal. This is not right. This is what they're doing. They have a plan for us. They have a plan for us, and we all got to get prepared for this. I'm gonna give you guys a watch market update. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Be smart. Be smart with your money. Don't do a lot of Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. By you supporting me, it just makes me feel, again, one more time, and I'm not bullshitting none of you, man. If I see a quarter, it gets me happy, man. If I see 50 people here watching this, it gets me extremely happy because you guys are hearing me, It's not like a monkey you guys around. I don't want to monkey you guys around. I do not want to monkey you guys around. And I don't want to see none of you losing anything, whether it's watches, precious metal. I am going to tell you, and I'll keep on telling you, dark times are very near us, man. Are very, no, está escrito. Está escrito. It's written down, man. It's written down. And I'm telling you, this man is always on the news. Pennsylvania Avenue. Quiet. And then the other guy, BlackRock, was all over the place, and suddenly he disappeared. Yeah. We got him dizzy with the, tokenization. We got him dizzy with the silver. We got him dizzy with the gold. We got him dizzy with this. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep on telling you, these motherfroggers have something big coming our way. Alex was saying before, if maybe it's the reset, and I have to agree with him. I've been hearing about the reset since the anonymous, since the anonymous times. Now I'm gonna tell you something, and it's crazy because sometimes when you're doing this, and I say a word, a big, a word, and I'm looking at, listen to what I'm saying now, guys, so you can see this, man. Amen, Papa. Amen, Ricardo. Amen. 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 When you're doing these shows and you finish and you're already relaxing and you go to your room, to your wife, and you lay in bed, and something that you said, boom, it appears right in front of your computer. That's it when you just finished saying that, man. Right there, boom. So I was telling you about Anonymous, right? That I haven't seen Anonymous, and I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Scout's honor, I haven't seen Anonymous, Poppy, in years. Do you know that I already seen Anonymous 3 times pop up when I'm looking at something? It's what it is. I'm not bullshitting none of you. I'm not bullshitting none of you. So I'm just telling you that, it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. And this is me talking. I'm not typing. I'm talking. I'm saying anonymous. Boom. He's there. And, I just don't want to keep on running my mouth, saying that. But when they say that they don't want our 90% sterling silver, probably 90%. 90% is 90%. It just needs 10 more percent to be purificado, They don't want it. They don't want it because they don't have the manpower. They don't have the manpower to create in the refinery, to create these bars, to do this. They want it already done. They want the job that Damon did, that he bought 100 ounces, that he bring them to me over here. Damon goes over there, and they're going to shortchange you now. We're going to give you 10% for that. Oh, man, you crazy. I'm out of here, bro. On top of that, they want to localize us. All right? So be smart, man, guys. For real, from the bottom of my heart, man. Be smart. And I'm telling you, if you ask me, where do you see the more worrying, I see it in silver. Because right now, if Dr. Evil wants, he says, yo, cash me out, bro. Give me my frogging money. I'm done. I didn't say a bad word. I said frog. Give me my frogging money, and that's it. No frogging way. Okay, there you go. So, Alex, I like that. You say no way. Why do you say no way? Yeah, it's just crazy. It's a frustration. Okay. And listen to me. It's not normal. Again, when I told you, I make it cute, I make it funny because, Alex, I make it cute and I make it funny that watch YouTubers are getting on, getting off the ship and saying, yo, the watch market is dead. Silver is silver, okay. But I said go, I didn't say silver. I said if you want right now, if you want your money, your big money, and you have 400, I don't know, those big bricks of gold, and you want to catch, you got your money already, yeah, you made money. Or you could keep on writing it. I'm going to ask all of you, are you guys going to keep on writing it if it goes under, listen to me, if it goes under 39? Are you going to cash out or are you going to hold on? Are you going to cash out or are you going to hold on? You're going to hold. That goes a lot of energy to refine compared to 999. Okay. All right. Okay, Mika. And go for sure. Keep it. Diamond hands, baby. Okay. All right. Keep it. So you guys are going to keep it, So that means that you guys do believe that it's going to keep on climbing, right? That's what you're believing, right? I mean, I would hold it too. I mean, if you, de verdad, I see it like a normal thing. It went to 4,000 and it's at 4,100. Now it's playing around. And the more they take in, the more they got us. The less they take in, hey, they're not kicking in. That 10% and 5 didn't work out. They're not moving. It's gonna, okay, Achilles is saying hold, but it's gonna drop. I didn't say that. Look what he wrote down. Wow. Okay, Alex. Coño, you're dropping some knowledge, Alex. Coño, sacaste un doctorado ahí, Believable, Alex, Esto está loco. No. What I told you before was what I said. What I'm hoping for, I hope everyone makes a run on paper silver and crashes it, and then it will go up to $300 an ounce. That's what somebody said. Somebody said that. Pero vamos a ver lo que pasa. But everybody is quiet all over the place. Have you noticed that everybody's quiet? How is your broker treating you? You that have brokers of, that take care of you with the gold and you buy from them. What do you hear from them? What have they told you, Dr. E? What have they told you, Alex? Mr. Donut? What have they told you, Mr. Blair? What have they said? Porque esto está peligroso, papá. Esto está peligroso. Esto está color de hormiga. This is the color of ants. I trade my own. Notice how nothing about Swiss gold. That's it. I trade my own. Good for you, Alex. Good for you, papi. Good for you. Well done. Do it yourself. People están nerviosos. I'm going to give you guys a watch market update. And as I go on through the watch market, I'll jump back in if I remember something. All right, guys? Good for you, Alex. Very good for you. Ladies and gentlemen, our first watch is a Rolex Daytona Rose Gold Oyster Flex. This is the new reference, the 126515 LN, 40 millimeter. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch, It has a meteorite dial. Es una jodienda. El reloj es una jodienda. Meteorite dial. White gold. Don't pay, rose gold. Don't pay for that watch more. I'm still thinking about silver and gold, guys. Don't pay for that watch more than $88,500. You do whatever you want. It's your money, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Yellow Gold GMT Jubilee bracelet, 40 millimeter, reference number 126718GRNR. Jubilee bracelet, ladies and gentlemen. Jubilee bracelet. Unbelievable. I'm very, very stuck with that silver and gold. And I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want that. We've done so good. We don't want to see none of you get hurt. With silver as well, too. But don't sell that silver at 10%, under spot gold. Don't sell it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, since gold has gone all the way up, they have brought this watch from the deck, this beautiful GMT Yellow Gold Jubilee bracelet, with a black dial, with a gray and black ceramic bezel. It's a 40 millimeter. They were asking for it 46, 47, 44, 45. And I'm going to tell all of you, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $39,500. You do whatever you want. Right, guys? You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I spoke to you about a watch. This is a Richard Mille watch. So you understand how people can lose in a matter of a week $20,000. You can lose $20,000. This is a Richard Mille, the RM055, the Black Bubba. But this Black Bubba is completely black, black strap, black casing, and it has factory diamond dials. This Bubba 055 has two papers, one for the watch and one for the diamonds of the watch. Two papers. I don't want to tell you how much this watch was, how much the Iron Sheik toupee wigman had it for, but it was disgusting. This is, a Bubba Watson. Black, not the white one, the black one. But this one has diamonds, factory diamonds. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys last week or 2 weeks ago, don't pay for that watch more than $249,000. I told you that. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you now, with all honesty, you guys do whatever you want. Toupee wigman, Toupee wigman with his friend over there. He has another friend over there in California. He has a lot of cars, They call him Johnny, Johnny too. They call him Johnny, over there in California. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. I told you 249. So you understand what's happening out there. So you understand, la situación está jodida, It's hurting me, papi, too much over here. I'll give you a drop soon. But okay, I like that, Ricardo. Ricardo Cruz is there on the $200,000 mark. And I told you 249 for that Bubba Watson black, everything, diamond, factory diamond. Don't pay. You do whatever you want for that Bubba Watson. You can spend all your money. I don't care what you do. You can give it away. But I'm just going to tell you, don't pay. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. My God, you guys are getting good. Don't pay more. And I mean, don't pay more than $227,000 and dumping. You do whatever you want. Richard Mille watches are dead in water. Dead in water. You do whatever you want. Richard Mille watches are dead in water. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about another watch. It's an AP Royal Oak, white gold, ombre blue dial, 15510 BC. When they say BC, you got to be careful. When they say BC, you got to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, they had comps out there for 180, 160, 150. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guess what I'm talking about, 41 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. 41 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. 41, you're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. If you guess it, you guess it. If you don't, lo jodimos. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. This is white gold with an ombre blue dial. 41 millimeter. Reference number 15510 BC. Nobody knows? Well, here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be 150, 175. Watch Mikey did. Don't pay for that watch more. Don't pay more than $87,000. And that's all I got for you guys. That's all I got for you guys. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is an AP Royal Oak stainless steel, reference number 26574, 41 millimeter, with an ice blue dial. Ice blue dial. Perpetual calendar. Perpetual calendar. Watch, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, tranquilo, that watch is 250, 275. Beautiful ice blue dial. Beautiful watch. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you the truth. You guys can continue doing whatever you want. That's up to you guys. You guys can continue maintaining these people's lifestyle. There's steak dinners, there's sushi dinners, there's Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, Montclair sweaters, you know what I'm saying? Supreme hoodies, ripped jeans, go fast red cars. You can, do all that. But ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Cruz is saying don't pay more than $158,000. Unbelievable, that Ricardo Cruz. Much respect for him. But don't pay for that watch, Ricardo Cruz. Don't pay more than $118,000. And down! 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 Suéltame, suéltame. Guido, suéltame. Down! Suéltame, brother. Suéltame. What's my kitty dead? Watch my kitty dead. Watch my kitty dead. You do whatever you want. Watch my kitty dead. Watch my kitty dead. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a Rolex Platinum Blue Dial. 1908, the 52506, 39 millimeter, leather strap. Retail price, ladies and gentlemen, is $31,500. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on fire today. I really feel it. I feel that, I feel it, even though it hurts me a little bit, I got to do it. It gives me power, Don't pay for that beautiful blue, blue dial platinum, don't do it, $31,000 for this watch, $31,500. And you let those people know who I am. We've been chosen as the #1 watch market update show in the world by no other than Fudinki. And we're also self-proclaimed as the #1. Just to let you know, you do whatever you want. They were asking for this watch 56. They were asking 51. They were asking 52. They were asking 49. They were asking 48. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $42,500. And done! Salud, Diao. Esto se jodió, papá. Esto se jodió. Nobody can do a watch market update show better than Sweet Kid Kino. Kino, estamos bien para la fórmula del baby tuyo. I don't want to tell you what's going on with Kino, but Kino está loco. No, estoy diciendo la situación tuya con tu novia. Unbelievable, that Sweet Kid Kino. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about something that's unbelievable. We're going to talk about something that is unbelievable. We're going to be talking about Patek Philippe. Listen up, all of you. Patek Philippe Grand Complications. Grand Complications. Platinum. Platinum chronograph. It's unbelievable, this watch. With the most beautiful green dial in the watch business. This green. It's unbelievable. The 5270. Un relosazo. Un relosazo. The 5270p. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. Doc Mick of Florida, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this watch. Chrono with a green dial and a green strap, like a black green. And then on the stitches, it's light green. Es una jodienda de reloj. But I'm gonna talk to you about a watch. The papi, this is, you put this on with a pair of shorts. You put this on with a pair of shorts. That paddock, you know, and a pair of flip-flops and a t-shirt with a big smiley on it, you know, and the mommies go by you y te tiran las panty cagadas. Te tiran las panty cagadas, papá. Así, smelly. Get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you the retail price of this watch, you're not going to believe it. The retail price of this watch is $265,315. $265,315. You know, $250,000 de pesos. You're going to buy from them? That's what it was. In the Corona beer era, you had to pay that. You had to pay that. You know it. You have to pay that. $265,315 plus taxes. You know, in the big wooden, box. You know, shellac. You know, shiny, everything, ladies and gentlemen. And when I tell you, this watch was being sold over that. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Blair. I'm going to give it to you. I'm getting ready. Salute dial. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but don't pay. Saludos, Wicked. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? Does anybody know? I get a kick out of this one. Come on, Mr. Donna, throw me a number out there. I doubt you're going to hit this one. Look at that. Ricardo Cruz, $210,000. Unbelievable, that Ricardo Cruz. These beautiful people. Unbelievable. Nobody wants to tell me? Well, here it goes. Hold on. Hold on to your underwears. Hold on to your underwears. Don't pay for that watch. La situación está jodida, papi. No hay dinero por la calle. No hay dinero por la calle. Okay, Achilles, you're doing good. Achilles is doing very well. But Mr. Achilles, don't pay for that watch more than $144,000 and dumping. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, Mr. Blair. You do whatever you want. Coño, lo cogió, Mr. Donut. I'm telling you what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting there to the end. We're getting to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a Roger Dubuis. You know Roger? You know Roger the Dodger? Roger Dubuis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an Excalibur, Spider, blue, reference number DBEX0749, 45 millimeter with a blue strap. Ladies and gentlemen, this Roger has a $60,000 retail price. This is tremendous movimiento. Let me tell you, Roger makes very, very good watches. But if you're thinking of buying a Roger, papi, go in there looking for a 60, 70% off. You go there, you say, I come with cash, but I'm looking for a 60, 70% off. That's what I'm telling you, It might be crap, but I'm telling you what it is. You go in there, I want 70% off, and that's it. And I'm going to tell you, for that watch, this is an unbelievable watch. Tremendo movimiento, it doesn't have, está dura la cosa, papi. Tú lo sabes que está dura, papá. But don't pay. For that Roger the Dodger, don't pay more. Listen to this. Don't pay more than $21,000. And you do whatever you want. It's your money, and you spend it as you please. Ladies and gentlemen, so you understand where the watch market is going. So you understand. I told you for this watch, don't pay. Last week. This is going, it's quickly. Papi, entonces jodió. This is blah, 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 blah. Give it away, 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 give it away. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. You know what I'm saying? Give it away. I'm telling you, last week, I told you don't pay for this watch. This 36 millimeter Rolex, rose gold, land dweller, chicken coop white dial. I repeat, chicken coop white dial. Chicken coop white dial. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going bananas, ladies and gentlemen. 36 millimeter chicken coop white Dow. Reference number 127235. And retail price is $43,300. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. I'm not ignoring you, Thurston Howard III. Tú eres uno de los míos, papá. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you very much for supporting this channel, ladies and gentlemen. And unbelievable. I feel like I'm giving today, all my efforts into the show, Unbelievable, but true, Ladies and gentlemen, that Land Dweller 36 rose gold with the chicken coop white Dow. Los alambres, chicken coop, los alambres, those metals, you know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, I told you last week, don't pay more than 50 something, 53. You look for it. And I'm going to tell you today, Papi, I'm number one, man. You have to appreciate what I'm doing. You have to appreciate what I'm doing. Los míos bajan 2,000 pesos, 2,500 pesos. When I give you a drop and a new watch market update is down to, 25, 2,500, $3,000 in one shot. And they say, but God damn, what are we going to do with this guy, man? What are we going to do with Kino? Because Kino's the owner of this channel. I'm just the voice. Kino's the brains. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Get it through your head. Don't pay for that watch. Unbelievable. I feel powerful today. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay more than $47,500. And done. Kino, what's up? Hala. Mama, hala. Done. My elbow. Suéltame, Kino, que estoy jodido. Suéltame. I gotta stop this, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta stop this. Hold on, guys. Estoy mareado. Dame la pastilla del corazón. Del corazón, la verde. I'm telling him to give him my green pill for my heart. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, what I do for you guys. It's unbelievable. Kino's always playing around. Dame acá. Dame. Está buena esta. Unbelievable, that Kino. Thank you, Mr. Blair. Thank you so much, Mr. Blair, for that super chat. Thank you, all of you, man, from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I really mean that. Kino tiene para la fórmula, para la leche. Unbelievable. You guys are unbelievable. You guys are great. That's all I got to say. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but we have a Patek Philippe Nautilus white gold 5980. With the jean dial, dungaree jean blue dial, dungaree strap, all that good stuff. You know what I'm trying to say, all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you guys do whatever you want. You can keep on believing this Nautilus 5980, with a 40.5 millimeter casing, has a retail price of $98,160. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if Rolex, if Patek Philippe raised the 15% on that Patek Philippe Nautilus, and let me tell you something, that is another watch that you put on and you're walking through the, you're walking beautiful, you're looking good. Steve, okay, we're gonna work on that, Steve. You're walking in a pier, and you have that watch on your hand, Papi, eso es un relojazo. Patek Philippe Nautilus 5980, blue jean dial, blue jean strap. Unbelievable. $98,160 is the retail price, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't care what they tell you. You tell them that I set this price. If you want it, you cut the clip and you send it to them, ellos se van a asustar. Tú sabes lo que te estoy diciendo, Julito. Tú sabes lo que te estoy diciendo. You put that on. I was telling Julio in Spanish. You know what I'm saying. You put that on, and the mommies throw you their panties. Smelly, but they throw them at you. But they throw them at you, okay? And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $158,000. And don't let Deputy Boxing Black Eyes fool you with his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet spray can hair, you know, and the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown, you know, and, you know, Dora the Explorer, and the mad scientists. Don't let them fool you no more. You have me. Papi, when they hear my name, se quedan loco. When they hear my name, you don't believe me? I know you guys don't believe me. Papi, I pass by in front of the faces. They don't even say a word to me. They don't even say a word to me. Because if they do, I'm going to say this to them. Hey, what do you talk about? I said, I don't talk about you guys. Maybe you guys, you know, maybe it fits, you know, the description, you know. You know, that's what I'm going to say. Keep on walking. You know how I am. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't talk about you guys. I just think it fits your description, you know, and that's why you're talking to me, you know. That's it. You know what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a Rolex stainless steel Oyster Perpetual 41 millimeter green dial. Green dial. This watch at one moment, and you're not going to believe me, this watch went all the way up to $14,000, $15,000. You know, Oyster Perpetual. Retail price is $6,400. You know, you got a mad today? You got Hermie the English elf mad? What you do? Ladies and gentlemen, the reference number of this watch is the 124300. Wow. Achilles, ding, 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 ding. You didn't hit it in the head, but you're there. You're there. It's the retail price is $6,400. Don't pay for that watch more than $7,800. You do whatever you want. We're talking about used. We're talking about used slider condition material in this channel. All right? In this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is a watch which is called the Rolex stainless steel Bruce Wayne with an oyster bracelet, 40 millimeter. Ain't you seeing the numbers of the watches where they're going to? Papi, I'm giving you, I'm killing these numbers. I don't care. It's what it is. Nobody is buying watches. Get it through your head. Nobody's buying watches. Nobody. You saw what I told you about Uncle Johnny. He's making Monopoly dollar bills with little, you know, little gold bars, you know, to make a living, papi. No me entienden esta gente, no me entienden. They don't understand me, but I have to keep on doing it, you know. I got to keep on doing it. I got to keep on doing it. The Bruce Wayne Oyster Bracelet, not Jubilee. Oyster. 126710 GRNR. Retail price, $11,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel good for you guys. Don't pay more for that watch, more than $17,100. And that's it right there, okay? You got that one, okay? You got that one, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy this watch market update. I hope you enjoy the watch market update show. You learn something for everything that we talked about. You know what's happening. Guys, don't forget that when you see four different YouTubers telling you guys watch market is dead, he's dead. Right, guys? He's dead. You know? I mean, you can believe me already. I'm the number one. I'm self-proclaimed as the number one. But when you hear those people say it, they say that's it. Okay, Papa? Muchas bendiciones. Lots of love to all of you. And again, 1,000 times, thank you all. First of all, for all being here. Thank you all for supporting the channel. And like I said again, it just keeps me going. It keeps me going. Be smart with your silver. Be very, very smart. Lo quiero mucho. Lots of love to all of you. Lots of love. Lots of love. And like we say always, take care and brush your hair. Good night, guys. Thank you so much for everything, Papa. Lo quiero mucho. Bendiciones. Bye-bye.